Alright. Did I keep my promise of watching the set beforehand so that I'm not reacting on the spot and know what to look for? No. But I'm gonna try and go through it relatively quickly. There's obviously online set and everything, but hold up. Oh wait, I forgot you can see all this. Okay, don't mind that. Okay. But yeah, so I'm gonna try and connect it to the stuff that I discussed about in the very long one. I know it's online set and when plays really weird. But at the end of the day, if you find an opponent that is really weird, you gotta figure them out real quick. And plus, one thing about Lemon is that, like, he chooses a lot of weird options, but, like, at the end of the day, situations are situations. So, like, if I'm in the corner versus DK or something, like, he might pick a really weird option there, but, like, DK only has so many options. Like, if I'm covering the right things and spacing myself correctly and reacting correctly, like, it doesn't matter what, he could do fucking taunt into F smash and, like, it shouldn't work as long as I'm not mashing. Lemon has a lot of options that work really well against mashers. Not the air masher, but, you know, just saying. Okay, anyways. So we're starting off on FD, which is cringe, but you actually take this game, so... you have center stage already, so that's pretty good. At this point, it's kind of scary because of how fast Fox is, but if I were you, I would be probably... I mean, lasering could be risky, but... I'd probably laser at least like once or twice. And like, yeah, you don't really need to do anything here. What I wouldn't do is an air fair. You have center stage, you know, he's gonna try and take it back eventually. I'm trying to think. Cause it's weird because it's so weird, like, when you should actually attack or not. Or at least, like, I don't know, maybe try and set something up with your movement or something. But I think you need a little more data before full-on committing, so let's see what you decide to do. Oh my gosh, wow. What are the odds? If you get punished for that, you deserve it. Okay, but it is Lemon, so, you know, Lemon doesn't really do all that. He goes with the double jump mix-up, which works pretty well. I mean, you're fancy there. That is still on you, you know, like, you realize the mistake, right, was the fair, but there, after you miss it, like, you really shouldn't shield. I know you're worried for dash attack there, but like short hop or like slingshot, something like that, would it be more optimal because you're not putting yourself in a defensive spot. Once you commit to shield, like, Lemon has all the control there, basically. So obviously the fair is what caused you to shield, but shielding after a whiff is just what everyone expects, so you just gotta be careful. What was that interaction? I don't care, actually. Somehow his combo's still going, so... Alright, you burn your double to land. Now you're drifting towards him and go with Nair. See, this is the stuff you're talking about, because you're asking how you can land better, but then you make conscious, poor landing decisions. Like, this isn't a Falco thing. This is a you choosing an option poorly. At this point, just take the center stage. I mean, you can react and see, like, if he tries to follow you, but right now, like, you're putting yourself in a bad spot, and, you know, that's a low percentage Nair in the first place. If he reacts, like, you definitely get hit there. Obviously, like, Lemon presses way too many buttons, but, like, with his Fox in the corner there, like, you can't drift far enough. That Nair is just gonna miss him if he just stands in the corner. And even he does decide to jump in, like, kinda an idiot, but he still, like, you know, whiffs it. And of course, you know, you're shielding again. That was actually a really smart timing mix-up from him, since he did the double jump last time. And so you're gonna miss your grab, which, I mean, you kinda should just... It's natural to grab there, but, like, you shouldn't have grabbed. That's kind of a situation thing. You need to know if Fox lands on you with Nair like that, you can't be grabbing. I don't blame you that much. You might, maybe you can, because I know you hit your shield early. So maybe you could grab that, and it's just you delayed it because you did, do that timing mix up. But, like, Haste has so much control when you're in shield. Alright, so here's the Ninza fair out of disadvantage. And, like, it's the same thing. Like, yeah, okay, you did get punished for it. Like, all these are guesses. And to be fair, like, Lemon, his guess as well, he just sets it up a little bit better with his guesses. Like, yours are completely raw. Where he at least, like, pseudo-punishes, you know, like, this is a direct punish. Your landing Nair was kind of like a pseudo-punish, and your fair earlier, like, I let you get away with that stuff often, but so far he's punished you every time. With the Nair, landing Nair and the fair from earlier, like, he didn't directly punish you, but he gets an opportunity, he gets an opening because you commit there, like, and that's something in situation study that we look at. Like, if you are going to jump in there and I just decide to pick short hop, I'm just going to land after you. It's like, if I just follow your drift, like, you can't outrange me. If you throw out a move, you just get punished for it. And, like, your best case scenario is to land and shield. And if you do that, I just get a landing fair on shield, which is just, like, a winning interaction for me. So, like, these are legit things. I'm sure Lemon probably doesn't think of it like that, but regardless, that's, you know, he executes as if he is. So, and even like the simple stuff, like how he doesn't try and directly punish you missing that fair with dash attack the first time, you know. That's something that a lot of lower level players would do. Oh my gosh, he did the thing, let me attack, and they're too late on it. But by jumping, he gets info, and, you know, you're gonna expect him to do, like, fast fall aerial or whatever. He immediately uses the double jump mix up, and it's just a timing mix up, even though it's the first time he's done it. So it is a guess on Lemon's part, but, you know, it's like he's adding another layer of depth to make it harder to expect, at the very least. Not that I necessarily agree with that landing Nair there that he did in the first interaction, but if he's going to apply pressure, like, that's a pretty good way to do it. And he obviously got a combo off it, and then immediately, the next time he double jumps, he uses the timing mix up. And then, you know, it looks like he might dash in and get hit by Ninza Fair, but he's going to be patient, and, you know, you overcommit again, and you hit. Alright, so you're going to air dodge in, use this double jump again. Obviously, didn't react to that. You should, okay, spot dodge in time, but I think you're still going to land this. So that was Nair up tilt. If he just shields there, to be fair, he does back towards you, but, you know, no one presses too many buttons. But you could have gotten punished for that. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Alright. Once again, like, this is kind of what I was saying about earlier, like, how Lemon tried to hit you, or he purposely didn't go for the direct punish because he didn't have like an opening there. Like, and a lot of lower level players are just swinging because they're like, oh my gosh, he did something. Like, this is you swinging because he did something, but there's not an actual opportunity there. Oh, he really likes his double jump mix-ups. And there it is again. So, well, I don't know how much. Okay, I'll go back, whatever. I think you're taking it, like, too quickly. You're not really, like, refreshing enough and not really analyzing what's going on each time. Like, that was pretty good, but then you have that. I mean, like, that back air on a situational level probably isn't that great, and especially, like, at this point you should have refreshed. Like, there's no reason to be throwing out this up tilt. Of course, you get hit with the bad landing. Once again, it's like, that's not necessarily, like, okay, it kind of is. Like, sure, if you're Mewtwo and you do a fair there, it might work, but... So it's partially Falco, but it's also, like, you're just landing with an aerial to try and reversal. Of course he's going to be able to call that out. He could have done a fully charged S-Smash, and then we all be like, wow, what kind of player goes for a fully charged S-Smash there? But one with data on you goes for a fully charged F-Smash there, because you keep landing with aerials, and that's the right thing to do. Now, no player goes for a random up-smash there. I guess he was trying to get you going high, I don't know, but... There's the roll in a ledge. Landing laser probably ain't it. You probably should have gone back there, but you didn't, so take it. I don't know what Lem's going for. Like, this is a really bad dash check on his part. You are gonna Ninza fair, and it still doesn't work. And you're gonna get... You didn't get punished for it because he was going for something crazy, but... Like, stuff like that you need to be thinking about. You went for a laser. And to be fair, the fair was kind of a decent idea, but I feel like you're pushing a lot of interactions together. And at the very least, if you just want to look at it not in terms of situations, but just habits, then like we keep seeing like if you don't roll in there, it's going to be fair, or maybe nair, but usually fair. You know, when you're back into a corner, that's usually what you do. And that's what we've been seeing. So here is you and shield. Let's see what option you pick. Okay, you get a grab. And there's Ninza Nair out of shield whenever you don't know what to do. I mean, we could relook at that if you want and see, like, is there a case to go for a Nair there? But I mean, that's the stuff I'm looking for. Like, are you doing these out of shield panic aerials? Honestly, I forget the other two things I need to look for. And what were they? Oh, high risk options, which we did see. You know, like committing with no data, basically. And like, to be fair, like, okay, actually I'll say this once I try and remember the other thing. So committing bad landings, which we also have seen, yeah, so we've seen everything. One important thing about situations is, like, you will get your opponent into spots, or they will move themselves into spots where, like, you can throw out that stuff because it's, like, because of option coverage. Like, it'll become statistically in your favor. Like, for example, your fair is really good, like, when when the opponent is cornered, because it covers like short hop, it's technically good against shield, it covers dash in, like it covers a lot of options. But you kind of need to, like, for it to become like a high percentage option, like a good, like it's in your favor, you kind of need to get them into that corner, or maybe they burn a double jump or something like that. And that's going to require patience. When they're like, when Lemon still has enough space where he's not like, where he's in the corner but not cornered, like, you just need to be patient there and use some of your other tools probably, unless you like have a call out or a reaction really. But yeah, I think hard committing there is just like, you just don't have the situation in front of you, and then like, because it's Lemon, he's going to do a bunch of weird stuff. Like, it's Fox, so it's hard to react to this stuff, but you know, let's say, I mean, even like, you literally could have used your whiffing forward air as a bait. Like, at this point, you have enough info to say if you throw out that forward air, like, he's gonna go for some silly double jump mix-up, and then he's burned his double jump. We've seen him burn his double jump every time. Maybe I don't even know if he hasn't burned a double jump a single time that he's jumped. So, if you see him burn that double jump, that's when fair becomes a decent option. High percentage. Obviously, you're gonna have to space it from the side. If you go from underneath, he's just gonna nair you or downer you. But you know, you need to be putting, if you're gonna be swinging without necessarily a direct bait, like just like to punish or because your move is good enough in that situation, you need to like make sure it's the right situation, or else it's like it's a high percentage situation, or else it's just a guess. Once again, a bad landing, you know, maybe you don't directly get punished for it, but here's the double jump mix that they've seen a bazillion times, and I mean, it worked. So Like, maybe you could argue Nair's good there, frame 6. Fox's aerial's low-key. Might have gone out of that. But it's just another thing, like, you're just getting baited. Like, he's done that double jump mix-up, like, every single time, and you still haven't caught on. Which I don't blame you, like, I probably wouldn't have caught on. But I'm just saying, you know, these are the things you need to look at. He's in the corner now. You need to be careful, because if you commit to dash, you can dash attack or nair. Like, this is kind of a hard, this is one of Falco's biggest struggles in my opinion. Even though he has like pretty good corner pressure options, it's kind of hard for him to safely move in. But what I wouldn't do, especially, I wouldn't nair or fair at this spot. You're just too far. It's not your burst range. Fox's burst range is just larger because he's faster. And it's just not in Falco's burst range. You're going to need him to pick a bad option. And obviously there it is. Again, and you should die for this, but you probably won't because it's Lemon and he decides to do dash forward into shine for whatever reason. But you know, if you have someone who's already noticed that, you know, like, you don't know how to keep someone in the corner, like, you're dying there, you know? Obviously, if it's me, I'm looking for that fair all the time. And even if it's someone like Squirrel or whoever the fuck you were playing who kept dash attacking you for it, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna look for that. I mean, that's a dash behind F smash if you're Fox, or, you know, he could have probably up smashed it and got away. Like, he had a lot of options there, and now you're in the corner. You know, you just lost stage control because, and like, what option did you lose stage control to? What did Lemon pick that one stage control? Was it Big Brain? Like, no, he did dash forward into shine. What a stupid option. So, but the reason he was able to get away with that is because you're struggling to keep him in the corner. I mean, I think this is twice we've seen, like, he's I don't know if there's enough data to really hard guess, but like he hasn't really been jumping in to close space. He's been jumping to punish or to get you to mess up. So like, maybe you could have an F tilting because you're like, oh, he's probably not going to jump in. I don't know. Obviously it's so risky, but at least we don't have 8 billion years to react to you slowly descending, you know. Whatever, I don't hate the lasers. I think I would have liked the lasers a lot more earlier. Choosing dash back versus lasers is really stupid of Lemon, but whatever. He tried to duck it. Okay. Dash back laser there. Okay, it's okay, you know, he's closing the space now, so you want to get yourself a little more space. He's probably going to run in instead of, like, I don't think he jumps again. I'm wrong, he double jumped, of course, but like, I think his next approach is going to be like a running one. So you just need to be covering the ground. This is okay. Cause I'm assuming you're going to do a landing there, but then again, like, if he just shields because this very telegraphed landing there, you know, it's like you might get fucked up for it. Oh wow, what are the odds? I don't know what he's looking for. It's Lemon, just don't question it. Like, look at all these opportunities, you know, if he just shields, what is your nair? -6, -7, I think? Pretty sure -6, -7. And he knows the multi, so it would have been minus, maybe it's -7, -6, because usually final hits are stronger against shield. And I think Fox up smash is 9, so maybe if you shielded, maybe you would have gone away with it. Although that's assuming that your nair isn't stale. Which I actually don't think it is. Regardless, you're just putting yourself at risk. That's what I'm trying to say. You probably won't nair fair here because your back is turned. I hope you don't back air, but you might. I'm guessing roll behind. Okay, good option. Drop shield. You're kind of over dashing like pointlessly. Like, it's definitely like, this is muscle memory. Like, you're just kind of pressing buttons to press, and then you do like the short hop in for no reason. At least you didn't press the button, but. And that shield is really good, like, you just reacted to that, and now you can punish him for it, even though you almost didn't. But like, in that situation from like a second ago, you know, like, you decide to drop shield, you dash forward, he's gonna roll back. Like, that's, I think, a good time where you could, you know, press your advantage and like force him to pick an option and see what he does when he's afraid, you know. It's like, even if you just run up shield like an inch away from him, like, of course, do it outside of grab range. It's like, if he doesn't dash grab there, you know, like, you can probably just make him make a mistake because he's in the corner. Or you could, like, laser, like, you could do a lot there, I think. If he fucks up, you can just back him. So he'll probably do his dumb double jump stuff to get away, and then, you know. But because he kind of did like dash in, dash out, dash in, dash out, you're kind of running around for no reason. He's not even paying attention to your dashes. Like, he's rolling behind, and he's thinking of his next stupid approach, which ended up being side B. So, you know, like, there's a lot of times where you're pressing stuff, and this is a thing that people say a lot. Like, when I ask why people do stuff, like, they'll usually give a reason. This has happened a lot with my training partner. I'll be like, why did you do that? And I'll be like, oh, well, I thought this would happen. Like, no, you didn't. You're not, like, you're just pushing buttons. Like, you're not thinking everything through. Which, you know, it's not like I can blame you. Like, that's what top players do. I don't want to hold you to the standard of a top player yet, but at the same time, you know, like most of those movement inputs were not thought out. You know, it's like, if you're saying like, oh, well, I want to bait him to approach or wait for him to do something, like, there's better things to do than, you know, like the patented elite smash habit that you have probably of doing dash in, dash out, dash in, dash out, short hop in. You know, it's just like a timing that's ingrained in your muscle memory, so it's not intentional. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think that's something that you study and are like, okay, if I dash in, dash out, dash in, dash out, and then short hop, it's gonna bait a short hop in because the double dash in, dash out makes people generally want to press the X button, and therefore I can get landing air. Like, I think you just do it, and sometimes it works. Which is okay, but it's how a lot of people play, and it works for a lot of people, but it's just not intelligent. I don't really know what I was saying last, but basically, don't suck. Okay, moving on. I don't know how that hit. That was low key. I mean, it was okay. Like, who's gonna expect it? Me. But yeah. We have a little frame trap, but Loki can probably shield, and he might get hard punished for this. Okay, actually, instead of doing there, you did landing up tilt. Kinda smart, I'm not gonna lie. Lemon getting that parry was pretty lucky. I don't think he meant on doing that, obviously. Obviously the correct option was probably tomahawk grab, but I think you did fine. I think, like, I like the idea. Are we just daring for fun? Come on. Okay, anyways. You got him in the corner. This isn't terrible, just please don't fair or near out of it. I mean, it might work, but, like, at the very least you're closer, so there's a much higher percentage that it wins here. But I still think it's better to just force him to pick a dumb option, because I doubt he does dash grab. Look, there it is. Roll in. Obviously, I don't know. I guess you were trying to bait a dash grab. So, unfortunate. Because I really did not expect him to go for dash grab. Now you both are going to roll together. Okay, cool. Well, I'll just get through this first game and call it for now. I have to edit this anyway, so... Okay. Alright, so we're moving in with shield. Now we're kind of shield dashing. This is a little dangerous because you're showing to him that, like... It's less you're showing to him that you're afraid, but you're making it kind of... Like, unless this is all in a really elaborate bait, like, he can just low-key dash grab you. Especially because once, like, as on reaction, you're shielding, you know? Like, you see him come in and you're shielding. Alright, so we're gonna give up space and go for a hard guess. And he could have just been grabbed there. If he knew what was going on, he would have been grabbed there. I'm assuming he input his lane and didn't come out. Wow, look at this fucking masher. Alright, I'm assuming you're fairing or nairing. out of shield, but you might roll in. If you do something else, okay, you did something else, but it was also not the right option, and you did. But did you win this? How the fuck did you win this? I mean, yeah, like, you got charted, but it came from picking a bad out of shield option. Falco out of shield isn't that good. That's what he said. I was trying to say in that video. Falco in the corner kind of struggles. Yeah, I mean, it's hard there. You've been fairing all game. It hasn't been working. Roll in low-key would have been good, even though you secretly have a roll-in habit. Grabbing is just situational unawareness. Like, you just need to know that you can't grab there. And he fucked you up for not knowing that. So. Alright. Looks like you're baiting a roll in, and he does, but you're gonna go for this again as if he's trying to about to grab or something. You keep, I mean, I'm assuming these are baits for grabs, like you shielding and then doing like a dare. But like he's just like, look at, like, he's not doing the thing. He refuses to grab it, so please stop baiting it. That's kind of something you just need to like recognize, like, okay, my opponent literally isn't grabbing, so I should probably stop baiting them to grab. You have like good baits to get grabs out and hard punish them, but that's something you need to recognize, like that's like an adaptation, you know, like your opponent is not pressing the grab button, so do not bait grabs or use the baits to do something else. Like, you could have done, I don't know, you literally could just run a pulled shield, and he's probably going to attack. Even if he rolls behind like he did before, he's probably just going to like dash attack or F-tilt or something. And then you just have to think of the risk reward, like, is your out of shield good enough for it? Cringe landing there, but Lemon's swinging right now. That definitely should have been up tilt. I mean, up tilt is just situational. If you're looking at this from a situational point of view, not only is up tilt better risk reward, but it's also just like that. It's just optimal. Nair is higher risk and lower reward, so you know. I don't know why we're up tilting right here. It's just another guess. Fortunately, you didn't get punished, but you did roll away, so you're losing space now. Laser's good. I'm assuming you're gonna do this into a fair or a nair. Okay, you did into it there. What did he do? He did dash attack, so it wouldn't have worked anyways, I guess. Wow, he grabbed. Did you really win this? Now we're just guessing. Alright, I've got him at the corner. You should have just get him at the corner. But it's Lemon, so he's gonna throw. Alright. He's doing random stuff. Laser is alright. Not against the laser. Okay, that was a bit much. And you really should have died right there, but... Okay, so we're gonna chase him and shield. This is a good option. Please don't fair. Oh, too late. Wow, it actually worked. But just a warning, you could lose that game right there for that decision. Lemon's literally just pressing buttons. There you go. That was a really good parry. Okay. If we want to look at what Lemon's doing, you know, it's like he's starting to choose. He's, like I was kind of saying, I didn't really agree with his first option at the very beginning of the game. He guesses a lot too, obviously. He just sets up a lot of his guesses to make you more likely to pick what he's going to do. So, like, you could say bait, even. But he still chooses a lot of, like, very low percentage options, and he just pads his percents by, you know, like, baiting. Which is kind of how you do it, but you're supposed to pick good options instead of terrible ones. But, you know. What in the world even is that up here? Alright, anyways, so we're in shield in the corner. Right now he's trying to act scary. Maybe he is gonna grab here, but yeah, like I would just keep holding shield. And obviously, like this setup he's going for is the Fox back air thing, where he's going to do back air, back air, back air. So forward air out of shield is really smart there. If Lemon was a more intelligent player, he would have dashed back after that back air, but he is a masher Fox, so he's just going to do the whole back air thing and hope you mess up. And yeah, obviously you should have gone more off that conversion, but that wasn't a bad tomahawk up tilt. Obviously you got away with it, but you know, so it's risky. Lemon's still just guessing. I don't know who's even attacking right now. Is this it? No. Okay, yeah, you really messed that up a lot off siege. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm just getting this here for now. Well, obviously, like, those three things, like, I mean, they are being exposed, and, like, some level player mindset, or not mindsets, but thought processes are kind of being shown. With the way you can even see, like, even though Lemon isn't thinking all too hard, like, you still see baits there, where a lot of times you're just raw guessing. And then a lot of like situation misawareness. Landings are very lazy. Not even bad, just like lazy, like you just could be picking better options if you just tried. And then, I mean, yeah, we're still seeing those Nair fair habits. Lemon was doing a pretty good job punishing them at the beginning until he started throwing out a bunch of crazy stuff. But yeah, we'll see how it translates to the other games. Alright. Into game 2. He stayed Fox for 2. I didn't remember him doing that. Alright. I had to restart my computer. It's actually been a while since, even though, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's been a while since I recorded the game 1, so hopefully it doesn't lag. Okay, so we're starting off with laser, which is fine. I feel like, I don't know, I mean, maybe you want him to approach. You really shouldn't nair here. I really hope you don't nair here. This is just a guess, like you're hoping that he's running in. When you can kind of see that he's not, even though it's Fox, like you do have to anticipate a little bit. It's still kind of like a big stretch, but I guess you are safe enough where like you could use this as a bait, you know, like like he's gonna see you with this nair, and then like you can call out like the double jumps he's been doing or something, and that's a way you could find up tilt, you know, and like that's a calculated way to find up tilt versus like a guessing way, you know, taking data that you've known and abusing it. And if he doesn't end up doing the double jump, you just, you know, add that to your data, and you just gotta keep trying stuff. So this isn't necessarily a bad time to nair, just because you can punish him for trying to whip punish you. But if your goal is to hit him, then this is a terrible time to nair, because he can whip punish you. And even it still is risky if you decide to hold in, just because he could whip punish you. Obviously here he's jumping back, but if he wasn't jumping back, then you get fucked up. Okay, unsurprisingly, it's gonna come out. I think the biggest, like, it's good to think about, like, how you can use this as a way to, like, bait him. Like, oh, look, I just whipped my nair, come try and punch me. But it's really important to hone in on the fact of, like, what your mind is actually going through at this point in time. Where, like, realistically, that's not what's going through your mind. And realistically, like, you're throwing this out to try and hit him. And that's kind of problematic. You're kind of playing Falco like a sortie almost, or like you're throwing out these hitboxes to control space. But the thing is, like, like, you can do that with some of Falco's moves to an extent, but not really. Like, the amount of space you're covering is right around your body. You know, like, you're not really... Like, Falco up till is scary enough where people kind of have to respect it. But, you know, it's not like you're throwing out your move here and covering, like, this space, and as you land, you know, you cover, like, all this space, and now you're, like, threatening this, like, you're only threatening this space, and you'll continue to come down to threaten this space. So he's got all this space to work with as you commit, and I know you'll be move forward, so, like, maybe you'll cover this space, but he's still got, like, all this space to work with, you know. And he's low-key mashing right now, so you don't really got a shield. Hopefully you drop it soon. Oh my gosh, that is peak Ninza fair right there. And, like, you know, you don't get punished for it, but you, like, we saw happen in game 1, and, like, these are things that people are gonna pick up on. These are ways you're gonna lose interactions, and like I said, in game 1 you did lose interactions like this. Like, that nair is very low percent, and I mean, we can tell that it's not a bait because you instantly go into shield. Like, you're scared for a punish, which literally identical to what we saw in game 1, where you're, like, throwing out these fairs really early, these unconfident fairs, and then you're going into shield because you're afraid of a punish. And, like, Lem's not punishing you because he's a clown, but at the very least, you know, if this is me, you know, I'm getting some shield pressure right here. If this is a sortie, you know, they could be a brain-dead, they could be, you know, an 0-2 sortie and win this interaction with shield pressure just by knowing how to mash buttons, you know, like, even with the skill gap, if you're gonna set yourself up to let lower level players get away with stuff, they're gonna, you know, get away with it. So, and then, like, yeah, obviously, like, just like a really, really bad forward air, like peak habit fair. This is what we were talking about in the last video. Happened stock 1, we see it here, just like super low percentage fair. Like, there's no reason to be throwing this out. Even if he dashes, if he fully runs forward, he low profiles it. This only covers if he dashes forward and decides to nair, and then it's just hitbox versus hitbox, and, like, seeing who wins. Like, his might even still win. So, once again, like, if you want to think of it situation-wise, this tool is going to be really effective over here. Like, look at the way he's cornering himself. If you close this space, like, obviously you're at risk of him doing something, and you got to be able to react. But if you're, like, here right now, this fair is so much more threatening. But, you know, like, when you commit to this long fucking cutscene, you know, he has all this space, you're just giving him time to react to punish that. And who knows what he's doing, but... And then instantly, a Ninza nair, you know? I mean, if we look at this back again, it's like, okay, we got our laser, and then Ninza nair, shield, Ninza fair, and then shield, because you're scared of punishing again, and then Ninza nair again. And the nair instantly goes into up tilt, which is something else we saw in game 1. Like, just like habit. I wish I could not go back a gigantic amount of time at once. But like this, you know, you're afraid, so you shield. This is a habit you have, and then out of shield, you have a habit of, you know, inputting that aerial. There it is, shield, because you're afraid of getting punished. Then there's that aerial again. It's like you're comboing your habits into each other. Like, this was just a string of, like, a habit combo. But anyways, that was a good reaction there. And, like, when in that situation, like, that's good situational awareness, you know, like, he doesn't have, like, that many great options when he's above you on the platform like that. Your upper is relatively safe, and now you're converting really well. Obviously, like, you gotta know, like, fast fall or grab, floaty up tilt, you know, like, that's something you gotta know. And throwing out the grab after you whiff is just, like, bad situational awareness. Like, you're hoping that he's an elite Smash player right there. If you whiff like that, you know, jump away, drop through the platform, spot dodge, I don't know. I mean, he probably would have punished you for spot dodging, but you obviously, like, you're in a bad spot, you're up tilting point blank, but better than just, like, unless you have a reason to think he's gonna hold shield, you know, better to not. But anyways, Okay, we're shielding on the platform. Good jump away. The downer makes no sense. But that's fine. And then, there it is. I mean, you even flicked shield for a second. You miss your aerial, so you shield. And you're like, oh, an opportunity. You're in the corner. And you're not really even... I mean, you might not even be like, oh, an opportunity. It's just what you do in the corner. You have that desperation fair. And it's going to work out here. But, you know, if Lemon had remembered stuff from game 1, then he knows to look out for that. And he could have fucked you up there. But good chase. Alright, nothing really of note there. Interesting decision. And that works better than expected. Obviously it's Lemon, so he's gonna let that work better. But laser in there isn't even bad, and like you kinda did alright. Dropping your back airs kinda sucks. So I mean, yeah, there's two ways you could go in this situation where you're right behind him. You could either like try and retreat or like get away, or you could follow him. But obviously following him risks that. I feel like in that point, unless you're like really confident of what he's gonna do, like if it's me, and you know I'm probably gonna dash back, like sure, chase me down, but if not, maybe just reset neutral. At the end of the day, it's like, okay, you happen to pick wrong. I don't think it's that big a deal. You were in the scrap, so you both had to pick something. And you happen to pick wrong. Just like remember it for next time. You know, maybe next time you're behind him, you just pick shield and wait for that dash attack. He did that little game 1 too. When you're just shielding, he'll just come up and dash attack you. So, and there you go, right there. You're gonna get the kill. So, I don't know why Lemon dropped the pressure, but probably because he's not fucking using spring. Okay. At least it wasn't an aerial, and it. I mean, that even if you did an aerial there, you probably would have been fine, but holding shield there, pretty smart. That was a really weird spacing from him, so it's good he did. Okay, once again, like, you're just not refreshing. Like, you see him run back. You know, this nair doesn't make sense. And then, like, he baited, or, I mean, he's really just, like, throwing stuff out around you, but you know, if he's close to you, that was obviously at least intended to be some sort of a cross-up, so you're opening yourself up by falling for that, you know, bait there. And then, like, once again, like, shield into aerial, landing aerial. Now he's kind of mixing in your shield, which, I mean, that was a good play by him. Here's that forward air again. That's the other thing you do. You used to do a lot more, but that side B also very, very dangerous. But in terms of the set, I think this is the first time you did it, maybe second, but I think the first. So honestly, not bad. Like, if it's the first time you're doing it, it's fine, and it worked out. So, not to say that it's good because it worked, but you know, like, I'm saying be careful because like it's a thing you do a little much, but it's also. Like, it was the first time you did, so who knows what this approach is. Like, I don't know, whatever. Dare working out for once. I still don't agree with Dare there, but I mean, once again, it's just like I sort of get laser into that, but like, do you really have the data for it? I mean, that fair barely hit. It really shouldn't have. Like, at least you want to react, I think. Like, Laser, see if he's actually, like, gonna come in at that low angle and then maybe go for the fair. Versus, you know, like, just throwing it out because you could have... Like, people are gonna use your own baits against you, which isn't what you want. Like, if people know, like, okay, after he lasers, he's gonna do a short hop fair. People are just gonna laser, or they're gonna wait for your laser. Maybe they'll even get hit with it on purpose, and they're just gonna run in and, like, F-smash or something. Because they know you're about to do your forward. There, I mean, we're still like doing these downers. It's like you're in the corner, and then you dive for landing. You're in the corner. You can't. I mean, you can, but like, I'm pretty sure you've landed one dare out of like all of them. Your dare accuracy is extremely low here, which isn't necessarily on you, but it's just like the type of things that it beats, like anxious grabs or spot dodges. Like, Lemon's been spot dodging a little bit, but not really in mad advantage. Like, if he does a tilt on your shield, maybe you go for a dare, because he's probably going to spot dodge after. We saw that game 1. But if he's just, like, running around and you're in disadvantage, like, okay, it's not fair, I guess. But it's still, like, if anything, what might be smart is, like, doing a delayed fair, like, short hop and then into, like, fast fall fair or something. At least that gives you, like, a horizontal hitbox that's going to cover more space, and it's a timing mix-up on, like, the fair you've been doing, so it's harder to react to. But, like, Nair and landing there, it covers such a small space. Plus you're going against Fox with great horizontal movement. Like, you're basically looking for hard reads, but you don't have the input for hard reads. Like, there's just no reason to make such a guess there. Alright. So you're jumping in, and once again, like, daring nothing. But, yeah, and the shield comes out, and it's probably going to be Nair fair out of it. Or another dare. I mean, I guess that's not the habit, but... Alright, that was just really great spacing by him. Ironically there, forward air probably would have worked. But yeah. There's that thing from earlier that didn't work earlier, but it works out there. It's not bad. Alright, I don't see that. Okay, so we're in shields. He's on our back, he's running towards us. Roll away is risky, because, I mean, you're in a terrible spot, to be honest. Like, everything is risky. It's more likely that he's going to catch roll back, because most people do that. Like, roll out. Roll in could get hard punished. I think it's your best option here. Spot dodge can get fucked up. Spot dodge is not terrible, it's just like, if he reads like jump, that might like happen to catch spot dodge or something, if he does like down air or something. Or if he like charges up smash on your shield. Rising back air is he's probably gonna low profile it, especially if he does like charged up smash. And then it's gonna get spot dodge, back air, might catch just short hop. And yeah, like, roll out is just too common, especially when he's dashing this way. So I think, like, hold shield is good, and roll out is good. Other than that, like, it's really hard, especially with your back turned. You're gonna end up jumping, and he decides to just dip, so whatever, I guess. You then swing at no one, but it's okay, I guess. Okay. We're starting to corner him, but he's not cornered enough to warrant a forward air, I'd say, even though I bet you're about to throw him out. Maybe a down air for whatever reason. I'd say, like, you kind of want to inch in here. What I would do, I would either, like, start applying, like, some sort of, like, laser pressure that makes him want to pick an option, or just, like, try to inch in with, like, walk and micro spacing. Just so, like, and a lot of shield too, like, if he grabs you, it's not the end of the world, like, oh well. But that way you catch, like, dash tags, you'll catch aerials, and if you see him dash back, then you can kind of close the gap there, and maybe try, like, a rising air or forward air, because those moves are good when they don't have space. Of course, he'll low profile your, forward air. He might low profile your dare, but I think I might catch him. But, like, if he's here and you're, like, here going in with a rising air, like, it's hard to not get hit there. And if you see shield, definitely go with forward air. Especially because I don't think, Fox down a shield isn't really going to be that great. Especially versus, like, your spaced forward air. It's not like he's going to, like Nair's not going to hit it from that range. Forward air obviously isn't. He doesn't really have anything. Of course, you're going to retreat, you're going to do laser pressure, so not bad. Like, now we can react what he's doing. I think you should do it closer, to be honest. Or, like, maybe do some, like, short hop in, wave bounce stuff. Try and throw him off. But yeah, one laser is enough, just kind of see what he's doing. Dashing in is risky. Okay, it looks like you're about to commit. I'm guessing short hop there, to be honest. But really, like, you should be walking here and just reacting. Like, if you want to dash in and close the space, that's fine. It's a little risky because he could have just dash attacked, but if you're confident that he's not going to, for whatever reason, then yeah, you want to walk here and just react probably. Okay, shield, that's good too. And now he is kind of closer in that range where I think going for a forward air or nair is going to be a better option here. Of course, yeah, that was the thing. You could just low profile it, which is really rough. But I mean, at least you didn't get hard punished. He obviously didn't really have the space to move backwards, so like that was like the option that's gonna win. Versus forward air there, I would say probably go for an air to maybe so he doesn't low profile it. But yeah, you could have like I still agree with the forward air for the most part. The only thing is like he's been running a lot, so it's like if you know your forward air isn't gonna come cover dash, then it makes it a little trickier. But I mean, he's running so much, like you low-key could just laser a lot. He's just gonna dash into it. Alright, he's jumping, you catch it. That's where forward air excels in my opinion. Okay, there we go, finally getting the dare. Here, just probably roll out. He's gonna try some gimmick. Okay. Honestly, that wasn't the worst landing there, I'm not gonna lie. 'Cause I was expecting, like, I mean, obviously he picked the right option, but I was expecting like jab or some silly bullshit, so that would have worked there. Alright, so here's a just complete guess. Like, Lemon has not been shielding that much from what it looks like, so I don't know why we're going for this dash grab. I guess we're trying to find a true punish, but that's kind of what we talked about earlier in game 1, that like something really good that Lemon does is he's going to wait for that second option, or he's going to go for a bait rather than trying to instant punish. And you keep going for these instant punishes that just aren't there. Like at best you're saying, oh dang, like I could have reacted if Wi-Fi wasn't there. But is this really like whatever the delay is? Whatever, I don't know, let's assume the Wi-Fi delay is 10 even though it might be less. Is this really a 10 frame difference? I mean, maybe, but regardless, I mean, your grab still hasn't even come out, you still got multiple more frames, so. And it's like, he just put himself in the corner. This is where your aerials are gonna excel, or maybe your F tilts, where you can do some laser stuff. You gotta, I feel like you've been approaching or trying to force stuff so often, where you can kind of just stay in your zone. Like, it's hard for Fox to approach from the top because you have up tilt. It's low-key not that hard, but from the side, but like you have laser to kind of force it. I don't think we've seen Lemon do any like short hop in approaches, which would kind of be the sweet spot between like up tilt and laser, you know. So like force him to do that. If you keep throwing out these moves that are covering this space, like your nair and your fair are covering this short hop in space, but you're not forcing him to take those routes, so he's just gonna keep taking the horizontal and vertical routes, which is like kind of almost ironic because like you have up till, you know. But yeah, so you put yourself in a bad spot there. I don't really know why Lemon jumps away there, but yeah, obviously, okay, that is one reason why you can't laser. I didn't really think of that, to be honest. But I mean, you can still play that game with him, you know, like maybe you don't laser him to approach, but laser him to pick an option when the space is close, you know. I think it might be worth trying at least. Okay, you should have died there, but it's alright. Alright, you've got him in the corner again. He's in shield. He's obviously not gonna be in what the fuck. Alright, well. One really bad thing that you keep doing is that you keep shielding after arrows. Or after whiffs. I did this a lot too. And recently I've been trying to force myself out of it. It's a really bad habit. The thing is, like, you lose scrap situations more because you're putting yourself in shield. Like for example, I would probably do like dash back shield a lot and then I'm gonna get grabbed or lose a lot of scrap situations because like I'm dashing back and then becoming immobile and putting myself in shield where like you're vulnerable in shield. Shield is a tool, but you know it's like you're putting yourself at a vulnerability, even though you know you're supposed to feel like you're invulnerable. But like so now I'll try stuff like dash back into like down tilt, you know, so that it's like I'm not making myself like stationary and everything. Like, you know, it's kind of scary because obviously like you're afraid of that punish, that dash attack, but for the record he hasn't been true punishing any of these aerials. Like he's always going for these weird wacky mix-ups. And like, you know, if you whiff, just like as you're whiffing, be refreshing to what he's doing. Okay, you're down air miss, but he's in the air. Like you don't have a threat. What is he gonna do? Fast fall through the platform, like cancel his jump momentum, fast fall through the platform and land on you? You know, like, no. So just like he still has all this like time for his full hop to end before he can even land, and you're low-key at an advantage. You're underneath a platform, so you're kind of safe from those landing aerials, and you have up tilt, which is going to reach through. Okay, and then we grab, you know, like, why are we grabbing? It's just another situation where you're not refreshing. This is just a habit, laser. Honestly, it works out pretty well because of his horizontal approaches. We do not need to be rolling in, up tilting at this point. You have to take it slow, you know? Alright, he's just whiffed. I wouldn't risk it. I think it's too risky right now. I would just reset with lasers. Force him to start approaching in ways he doesn't like to approach. Force him to go in that range where your Nair and forward air are going to cover. I would dash back laser there, to be honest. But you did end up punishing. I mean, if you're confident in the true punish, that's fine. It's just, you know, like I would expect something like that to happen. You know, like maybe like he doesn't have as much end lag as you think, and then like he kills you for trying to punish it. But you did get slain off it. Obviously, didn't go so well, but that was just a missed execution. No big deal. That's fine. I mean, you barely missed your reaction there, and he's just gonna call you out. And then, I mean, you kind of threw. Not gonna lie, like this was your game to lose. It's only 48, but obviously we're in this situation again where he's dashing at us, and you know, back is turned. You're at 0, so it's less likely he's gonna do charged up smash on shield. So the best options become roll behind, hold shield. Honestly, jump. Honestly, spot dodge is meh. Hold shield is meh because he could grab, but like, was he gonna get off grab? Because it's Fox, hold shield becomes a better option. I think your best options are probably hold shield and roll in, but jump isn't bad either. It's just he could do like Schwab Nair, but he hasn't been doing that all set. So that's something you gotta know. Like he's probably not gonna Schwab Nair because he hasn't been doing that very much. But yeah, obviously, like I said earlier, the obvious option is to roll out here. She calls out, and then like you've been going for these all set, and you've only done it once, and he died at 0 for it, you know. So I'm just saying. Alright. So he's gonna pull out Luigi. Let's see what we're at. Damn, 30 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna pull out Luigi. I'll try and go a little quicker through these two, maybe, I don't know. We're just gonna try and see like why you're getting hit. I'm gonna try and not explain things in as much detail so that you can actually watch it. Alright. So you're going in, you're gonna dash. We're probably gonna see a forward air here. Forward air isn't bad because just because like the space on it, Nair is really good here too, I think. Because he's putting himself in this spot situationally this is pretty good. He can double jump, but I don't think he'll even be able to get down in time. So honestly, pretty good. And for once, you actually don't go for it when situationally it probably would have worked out. Alright. Here, I mean, it's kind of hard in the moment, but from where he jumped, like, you don't have the drift to get this. Unless he keeps holding forward, you're not hitting this landing there. This is where you want to do a reflect or a wave bounce laser. I think you got to utilize laser more. Or if you want to be spacing stuff out with back air, you could. But basically what we don't want is we don't want a landing there. Maybe landing fair if you react in time and you're like, okay, he's in fair range. Definitely not nair, because I just think it's going to whiff and you'll get hard punished for it. And you did. But, I mean, you got punished. You didn't really get hard punished. But you could have. You could have. That's the thing you got to realize. You've got to know your range of these moves, and you've got to be conscious when you're going for them. You keep just throwing out. Alright. The landing, not great. There's no reason to up air there. Be watching him. Don't be looking at yourself. If you're watching him there, you're going to see he's running right at you. Alright, we're back airing again. He definitely... Okay, he did punish it. He could have punished that one. I don't know what he's aiming at, but... Okay, so we know he tornadoes, like, on the ground in weird spots, especially when holding shield, so let's not make that mistake again. Alright, there's the Ninza fair from earlier. You did that rollout. I mean, it's natural to do that rollout, but he didn't catch it, so that's fine. Okay, he is jumping in that sweet spot for your fairs and nairs, so that's good. That's something you gotta note, the way he's playing Luigi. Fox, he didn't really do that. So like there, like you want to react, like you see him do that short hop and you want to press it, but instead you do this weird like, here, let's just go back real quick. See this weird like, okay, so you laser and then you're gonna, like that's what you're looking for. Like when I said earlier you want to do laser and then kind of like react first instead of just throwing out. Like here you react and you do your forward air. I'm gonna see you do this like little fade back, like, oh, I'm gonna bait out a little move or whatever, and then like, so at this point you should be refreshing again. Like, okay, let's say you were looking for a move, which is fine. Even though Luigi doesn't really have, like, I don't know, I guess you're looking for that forward air, which is, like I said, it's fine. But here you refresh, okay, he didn't do it, he double jumped, Lem0nade catches landing, he has no double. If I up tilt back air him, he's off stage with no double. But instead, we're throwing out this fair for no reason, and we're throwing away the situation again. And then we're going to go into shield like we always do. I really want to look at this in frame by frame to see if you throw out an air, but I don't think we'll be able to. Plus he might have hit you during jump squat, but I bet you pressed it. So once again, like, okay, so you did your short hop. I bet you're gonna landing near there. But alright, it wasn't rising there. We can confirm that obviously, but okay, we're rolling in. I don't think you go for a punisher unless you're bold. If you look at the spacing, you know, this F tilt is a good option. I like F tilt here. Fair isn't bad either. He's cornered. I don't think Luigi really low profiles this. If he shields, you win. This is a good time to go for fair, in my opinion. I mean, he really has to like roll behind. But I would press. I mean, okay, if you don't press lane here, I go back and laser. Well, I mean, you have a lot of options. You could wait if you're confident. It's just you keep making these elite smash plays, like, and you're confident for an elite smash option, like, oh, he's gonna roll in here because he's afraid. But just because little Timmy on elite smash is afraid and rolls in there doesn't mean Lem0nade #1 in Knoxville rolls in there. Okay, so we're gonna go with up tilt, which is good. That was really well spaced. I didn't expect that to hit. And we're gonna drop that. Okay, kind of risky there. Okay, please don't go for it 3 times. I mean, I sort of get it if you think it's gonna start connecting, but I don't know, bro. You could just waited for a down B and then back air. Or you could have up tilted, charged your up smash, and the same thing. Okay, this is where Ninza likes to do up smashes, I feel. I don't like the option though. Okay, up tilt, that's good. That's good. I like up tilt. Trying to catch Lenny, that's fine. You should kill him right here. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so he's starting out this up smash. You're going to be able to react to that right here. You don't want to true punish this. Luigi's up smash is obviously deceptively quick. You're going to want to look for the next move or pressure shield. You could pressure shield with back air a little bit. Slingshot, back air into like slingshot or something. Which would only really lose to fair. Or you could just... I don't know. You have your back turned. It's a little weird. I would like fade away laser maybe. But it looks like you're in a back air. And I think you'll be able to shield in time. Well, I mean, still pretty good pressure. Like, what's he gonna do? I would slingshot there to keep up the pressure. Plus, you might be able to slingshot out of forward air range, in which case you can just drag down fair into up tilt. But roll away is okay. You just have to be aware, like you're the one in control there. You're pressuring shield. It's up to him to make the defensive option. Anyways, we're in a really good position to go for like a fair in air here. But we're gonna go with down air, which is not a good option, and you're gonna die for it. I don't know how to say this. Like those things that we're noticing, they're, I don't know, like you're not only are you losing interactions for making these mistakes, but you're dying for it, you know. And like there's obviously a fundamental miss or disconnect, I think, to how you view the game versus like how you should be functioning. But yeah, like I don't know, like I get it, you know, we're both kind of the same. I'm making really long videos. I don't know how to tell you any differently that just like how crucial it is that you address these issues, because like they are how you're losing interactions. They are how you lose in stocks, you know. It's not like I know I look at the game differently from a lot of people, and like a lot of things you don't like. I always talk about situation study a lot, and stuff like that, which I know you might not be into. Not everyone's into putting all this time outside the game. But like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, this is why you're getting hit. Like maybe you're just autopiloting or whatever. Obviously, don't have legit set footage right now. Maybe I'll look at those games versus weird. I don't know. I at least like the setting of this a little bit better. Like a lot of the smaller details, like for example, like why are you rolling there makes no sense. That's stuff we shouldn't really be addressing now, because there's just like a fundamental thing missing from your play right now, like the thought process in a lot of situations. And obviously like the habits and like the reason, like there's not a reason behind a lot of your inputs. And like stuff like this will come as we address that other stuff. So we just really gotta focus on addressing these like major things, these landings, these, you know, high risk committal options for no reason. These, instead of like intentional conditioning, you know, looking for these elite smash options. And then like, you know, obviously the nair fair habits. I think situation study is a big thing. Like, you're not understanding the situations where fair and nair are good, and you're just kind of throwing them out in neutral, because they're like your neutral tools, quote unquote, where they're actually like, I would say worse, you know? You just become this cutscene hitbox that's easy to punish and has a lot of openings, you know? Even in my anti-Falco notes, like, horizontal movement and like complete vertical movement are the ways of getting around your fair, you know? And that's like what we saw with Fox so much. It's like you've got to use your other tools to force us to not want to take those routes, and then you can go for fair. Or when you get people in the corner using, you know, your threat and like slow methodical play, then, you know, you've got these tools that are really good for coverage. But then you get to the corner and like, you know, like right there, you have a really good opportunity to actually fair in the corner, but instead you go for dare for no reason and you die for it. But yeah. And then, like, there's a lot of, like, times where you're not refreshing in time, where you're not making, like, reactive decisions, like your laser, and then, like, you get the look you're looking for, you should be reacting there and fairing, but instead you go this, you know, you look for, like, another option, like, oh, maybe he's gonna attack, and then instead of refreshing to his attack, you just throw out fair, because, like, you're just guessing, you're not reacting, you're just guessing. And, like, this sounds harsh, but, you know, like, I see the same thing when I watch my own VODs, you know, it's really frustrating to watch, if you look, you know, in the details. So, like, don't feel like you're an idiot or something. You know, there's so many times where I'm putting in my notes, like, I need to be reacting, like, all caps, like, I just need to react better. There's some times where I look at the situations and I'm like, I could have picked anything except what I picked. Like, I'll look at it, you'll be, like, in shield and burst range. I'll be like, okay, I've got a lot of options here. I could do Shadow Ball, I could teleport behind, I could do fair, I could, you know, even do, like, down tilt or jab or up tilt. Then I'll, like, run in and do, like, an F tilt at point blank, and it's like, wow, that was, like, the worst option I probably could have picked. Like, that was just horrible, like, horrendous. Why would I do that? So, like, it's frustrating, but, you know, that's just how it is for now until we kind of get going. Anyways, that was random, even though I'm trying to go through these faster. Damn, okay, anyways. Alright, so, I don't know what the end lag on this is. It might be smart to just go for positioning instead of a true punish, or not, I mean, I don't know. You seem confident enough. I mean, you play a lot of Luigi, so I probably would have dash attacked, I'm not gonna lie. But in theory, here we're guessing. He did do drop down last time, so not bad. The spot dodge, however, could have got you killed. And right now you're just in mad disadvantage. Picking options that are a little riskier, like the air dodge in, was kind of unnecessary, to be honest. Damn, yeah, you kind of got fucked up. I mean, that's just really good by Lemon. He's really controlling the match right now. I mean, look, okay, so you've got the center stage, right? And all it takes is one miss. Because you're fully committing right here, like, I get it, but you are hard reading. You are hard reading that he's gonna do jump from ledge like he did last time. He did do it last time, I get it, but this is still a hard read. You're giving up the entire stage doing this. Let me see if you telegraph it at all. Okay, so you're walking. You are standing right there. I wouldn't say it's terribly telegraphed. You're kind of being ambiguous. I mean, you just walked up, so I'd say it's relatively ambiguous. But he does decide to roll. And he doesn't instantly react, but because of that spot dodge, he's going to be able to do some stuff. I mean, okay, that air dodge, I mean, you were in a really tricky spot, but you did fall right into his hands. Obviously, you get the kill there, and then just look, so you're in the corner, you want center stage, you get set up a little bit, you drop shield and bring it back up. Pretty good spacing. That's an opportunity where you want to forward air out of shield. But obviously, like, you didn't react in time, no big deal there. You're trying to just see what he's doing. He picked a really weird option, and honestly a really good option. But you gotta be aware of the shield here, which obviously you are, and you're gonna go for forward air. And you're gonna have your stock taken for it. I mean, you've gotta just realize, like, once again, I already said it, but, like, these are legitimate things you're getting hit for. These are legitimate ways you're losing stocks and interactions. You died at 70 for this. Like, just dash away. Reset neutral, react to what's going on, walk away, side B to the other side of the stage if I can, Firebird directly at him, I don't care. But, like, if you keep going for these same options, and of course, like, what do you do every single time after you miss an aerial? You shield. So regardless of how low your shield is, your habit, your fingers want to press shield and they're going to press shield, and then you die at 70. I mean, he didn't even hit you. You know, he just hit your shield like 3 times. And he gets a guaranteed kill off it. So yeah. So now you're looking for a roll cut, probably because he did it last time. That was a really bad grab by him. I kind of want to see some more looks. Like, I want you to be baiting him a little bit instead of like, even like, okay, it's not bad. Like, oh, he did this last time, so he might do this again. But at the end of the day, like, let's say Lemon is literally picking his options at random. Like, he's literally rolling a die, you know. If so, then you're not giving him a reason to not pick randomly. Like, he could just be picking randomly because you're not really like threatening anything, and then it's just a guess, you know. And if he is like purposely mixing up everything, like, let's say you know he won't do the same option twice, then it's still a guess. 1 out of 3 options, right? Or 1 out of 4 technically. If he rolled last time, he could do get up, he could do jump, he could do drop down, he could do get up attack. So, you know, even then, like, it's still a guess if you don't at least try and threaten some options. So I want to see that. You threaten options a lot versus me, but I haven't seen it really here. Okay, how did you even get hit here? So we go for this. Oh, we don't go for back air. Back air would have been good because, I mean, obviously would have won there, but even if he shields, you know, you're in that same spot as before, you can slingshot. Luigi doesn't really have that vertical threat in the air. Like, forward air is the best he's got. If you just whiff punish that by, like, moving yourself, you're in a really good spot. Double jump mix-ups are good. It's just hard versus Luigi because, or it's not hard versus Luigi, it's hard as Falco because you jump so high, but it's still fine. It's just like, what are you looking for? Were you looking for fair? Is that what you were trying to get? Because you go for this double jump mix-up to try and, I guess, get him to do something. And then when he does something, you drift away and get hit with it. You know, like, this is another thing we talked about in the last video, but, like, a lot of your baits, they're good at baiting stuff, but it looks like you're not on the same page as them because you'll often get hit by the stuff you're baiting, or the stuff it looks like you're trying to bait, like, you'll usually let it go, you know? Like, it'll look like you're baiting roll, and then they'll roll, and you'll just, like, let them get away with it. He's probably gonna start fishing for that shit now, whatever. Okay, for the record, he's done wave bounce and up smash twice. If you're paying attention here, you know, you see it's a thing. Once again, like, look at these aerials, right? Like, I know you mess up your laser in a little bit, but, like, you know, I mean, Lemon's literally mashing, and, like, these aerials are covering such little space that Lemon could be chewing on his controller right now, and you're not, like, throwing anything. And then, like, habit, you know, the habit Ninza in there gets you killed. Again, like, I'm pretty sure we saw one of your habits get you killed every single stop. We saw the, you know, the corner, not situational awareness. You're gonna go for that dare that doesn't make sense. You died to back throw. You had your, you know, fair out of shield, and then, like, you shield after you whiff, and then you die for that, and then, you know, like, you know what to do, so you just press an air, and you die for that also. And like I said, I mean, you do watch him do wave bounce up smash twice before, and yeah, like, he's not doing anything. I mean, he's doing weird stuff, but it's not like he's immaculately spacing anything. He's just playing around. And your options don't cover it. Like, Nair and Fair are very limited in terms of space coverage, especially for how long they last. They're not like swords. Swords threaten a lot of space, and they're relatively quick. You know, like, we've seen a Fair, like, shing, and it covers, like, a ton of space. These Fairs and Nairs last forever. That's the best way I can describe it, and they don't cover that much space. So you're using them like their swords when they just aren't. And like I kind of get the nair, like it scraps in, but like, you know. Ninjas love to throw out stuff there, and Ninjas love to get punished by Lem0nade when he does it. So. Alright, game 3. At the beginning of the game, I always want to run through it really quickly. Alright, let's make a promise. I mean, game 4, whatever. I will not stop the game to over-theorize. We will just look directly at your mistakes. For real. 100%. Look at this laser usage. Very good. Okay, and then... once again, you just want to react there, okay? You're gonna laser, see what he does. Before you're throwing out that fair, see what he does. You force him to pick an option. He dashes back. You know, move in. You don't even have to cover dash back. Just move in and laser. Okay, is that kind of theory? I'm just trying to say. You want to react there. Don't up tilt. Okay, I don't know what you did, but you got punished for it, I guess. So. Remember that down B on your shield, just in case. Good zoning. Like, look. This is very good. And then there you go. You get your whiff punish that you're looking for. Actually, let me look at that real quick. Okay, I know I said I wouldn't, but I just want to see if I agree with the fair or not. Because just because you hit it doesn't mean it was necessarily good fair. We're in shield. We're gonna pick roll away. We've seen that a couple times, so just be careful. That's obviously a thing. You get the whiff punish. And yeah, that was a true punish too. Okay, nice. Obviously, don't get the drag down. The dare, I guess you're trying to catch roll. So I sort of get it. But at least try to react to rolling before you throw out the dare. Regardless, like during your dare, you refresh and you see that, you know, he's still over there, and you go for forward air. And forward air here covers a lot of options, so that was good, except you didn't press forward. I don't know why you didn't hold forward there. Okay, maybe you didn't actually refresh, but in theory, theoretical number 1 PR Ninza refreshed there, and he held forward, and the lead was off stage, and he edge guarded him and killed him. Alright. We already know that the whole up tilt back air thing with down B. We know he's pressing down B every time. Also, your grab was a little mid. Anyways, but yeah, just up tilt, delay back air, or up tilt, fully charge up smash. We know that it's the way. Okay, for once, you get your down air, but you don't get the sweet spot. He's in the corner, he's coming, you want to do lasers or space pressure, or just walk and wait and hard punch him. I get you can't react to this in time, but I don't know, you try and react, I guess. Don't. Oh, you didn't press the button. Oh my gosh, this is an F smash. You got the kill. Cringe. You should have got the kill. Alright, you're swinging a fuck ton. So you're obviously kind of antsy. I don't really like analyzing it like that. Like, oh, I'm antsy here. Oh, I should be more patient. I feel like it's really general and doesn't really help that much. Like, okay. Like, you can tell yourself to play patient so many times, then you'll get into the set and you'll play antsy, but... I mean, yeah, I would be a little conscious, you know? Like, you're going for all these back airs, you're just swinging a lot instead of, like, focusing on your baits and your whiff punishing and, like, the lasers and forcing them to do stuff. But yeah, forward air in the corner, pretty good. I still would try and react first, but forward air in the corner is pretty good. Okay, the up tilt was pretty bad, but the nair itself was good, the pressure itself was good. Forward air might have been a better option. Or up air, honestly, imagine up air right there. But overall, pretty good. Right now you're doing really well. Did you lose this game? Now it looks like you're... I thought this went to game 4, but... Okay, unfortunate. There's Ninza Fair. You're in disadvantage right now because the Ninza Fair. Okay, reset. Kind of a cringe drop down, and then you're not reacting really. I mean, there's no reason to go for grab there. It doesn't make sense. Dash back gets caught. We're even now. Okay, we messed up laser. Okay, and then bad ledge option. It wasn't terrible, it's just the timing. The timing was what was bad about it, not the option itself. And then Ninza Fair. How much are we going to take for Ninza Fair? Only 40? Okay, not bad. We're aiming at nothing. If Lem0nade is just a little more patient, he's going to whiff those. We're throwing out... Like, how... I mean, unless you're expecting him to do, like, full hop into double jump, that back air just isn't hitting. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It has to be a bait. Like, you have to be baiting something. Like, I don't know, what are you baiting, you know? Like, has Lem0nade been doing gigantic full hops? Full hop double jumps? Like, what are you looking for there? What situation does that back air connect? Unless you're, like, looking for something really specific. Like, maybe you think, like, we'll try and punish with grab, which I guess could happen. So it's not awful, I guess. I'm surprised Lem0nade didn't do grab there, but... Just so you did, like, at the very least, like, if that was your intention, like, it's good. Like, that's fine. Like, you had the right intention. But, I just feel like with a lot of these things, you don't have the intention. So it just doesn't make sense. Like, as a bait, that back air could be good, but if you're just throwing out to try and hit him, it doesn't make any sense at all. Kind of like this down here. Now you're just over swinging. You still gotta react. I would have just waited for him to get back on stage and then punished him for whatever he did. I wouldn't even worry about trying to guess it right. Plus, I feel like he hasn't been jumping that much. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of desperate to get these kills now, just throwing out stuff. There's Ninza Fair in the corner. I think he might have even been looking for it. Good that you at least spaced it out there. Okay, not the worst grab, sort of. I think you could have reacted in time, but at least you set up for it. Lem0nade plays like a CPU, I'm not gonna lie. It's like, when you're looking at it at full speed, you know, Lem0nade looks like he's doing a lot of weird stuff. It's like, oh, how are we gonna keep up with this? You know, like, you're trying to throw out your pressure aerials, but like when you slow it down and look at it on an interaction to interaction level, you see a lot of the stuff that doesn't really get talked about with your decision making and stuff like that. And like a lot of these things can be getting punished. And I don't know, you probably did. I mean, you went shield, so you probably were trying to do a nair. It probably wasn't even rising. It's probably just going to be short hop, delay, landing air. I mean, yeah, like, he plays weird. Like, that was a weird option. Oh, rolling up smash, who does that? But, I don't know, you gotta get ready for it. The worst part, the biggest takeaways aren't like, oh, you got hit by rolling up smash. The biggest takeaways from the set, just want to keep in mind, like, I don't know how to hone it in, but the ways you're losing interactions, the ways you're losing stocks are the same things we discovered before, you know. You're using nair and fair in situations where they shouldn't be used as these neutral tools that they aren't. You have bad habits of throwing them out of shield, and after you whiff, you have a habit of shielding, which lets you, you know, get out positioned and shield broken in some cases. You still really struggle with landings and picking the right options, and a lot of times it's lazy. A lot of times you have safe options and you don't take it. Or if someone drops a combo, you'll go for like a punish off of it instead of retreating to stage and just taking stage control. You give up your camping a lot, and you aren't really, like, you're going for these options that cover short hop in, but you're not really forcing people to short hop in using your other tools, which we saw a lot with Fox. And then a lot of times you just go for true punishes when you shouldn't. You should look for the next option. And then, like, obviously, like, you go for a lot of guesses, a lot of reads that probably work against other people, but they aren't specific to Lemon, which is what you need to be focusing on, the stuff that's specific to him and, like, his characters. So you look for so many roll-ins with your down airs, and, like, it just isn't working. You know, like, wait till he rolls in before you start looking for that, you know. But yeah. So other than that, I mean, yeah, it's just like the big takeaways are these things that we saw in the other video. They are looking to be real. Maybe if we see some other footage, we'll see it differently, but they look to be real. They look to be reasons why you're getting punished. The biggest thing, you know, like, I want you to become conscious, self-aware of these things. Obviously, I want you to learn situations too, but I want you to become conscious, aware of these things so you are able to start working towards fighting them off of them and playing a more honest neutral, more thoughtful neutral, slow, methodical, you know, bait and punish rather than all these guesses. And I think it will reflect in the game. You give your opponents, like, even with me, like, you can fuck me up, but you give me so many opportunities, and I assume it's the same thing with players you should be beating. You can fuck them up, but you give them so many opportunities that they don't even need, especially when you're up. You know, you hold in so much. And you instead of, like, forcing us to guess versus you and try and approach, you'll, like, kind of be like, oh, I want you to approach me after lasering twice, and then you'll come in anyways, and you'll, like, force yourself to guess. So, but yeah, hopefully this was helpful. It's obviously going to be long again, but it doesn't look like it'll be as long. So hopefully you are able to watch the whole thing, and hopefully I can get the message to you that, like, these are important habits that we got to get over. I think you have a lot of good, you're on the right track in a lot of areas, but we do have to start thinking about things in a little bit of a different light. We got to be more intentional. And even if our opponents aren't, like Lemon, just playing around here, you know, you've got to be conscious of what's going on. So yeah, that's all for now.